Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Extravaganza with Mitch. I hope everybody has had a good week. It's a great week for those of us who are baseball fans because tonight, even though I'm not going to watch it, I don't think I'm going to watch it. I think we're going to not watch Netflix tonight and the Yankees. I don't call it an opening day. It's an opening night, which doesn't really sound correct. I know where I'm going to be tomorrow at 4:00. I'm going to be in front of my television watching the Phillies. I am looking forward to this season like no other. Even though they had a horrendous ending last year in October, things look pretty good. People complain that the Phillies are running it back, and I say, and I have said for a while, that's okay. They're going to compete. I'm predicting they win 93 games and obviously get to the playoffs. So hopefully we'll see what happens with that. Really, for me, that's the biggest thing that's happening right now is that the opening day, spring training is over. It is spring. Wherever you are, I hope it's warming up. I'm here in Wilmington, North Carolina, where we had 80 degrees yesterday. And today, or Monday, we had 80 degrees. Yesterday, high of 55 and wind. Today, it got nice in the afternoon. Tomorrow is going to be a better day. And then as one who is retired, Friday, it's going to be like 70-something degrees, 76. The fishing pier near me is opening. I will be going to the pier. So that's what I'm doing this week. And then next week, there will not be any podcast for me. Lou might be here. I won't be here next week or the week after. I will be, yes, retired folks do go on vacation. So I'm going to Gulf Shores, Alabama to hang out for about 8-10 days, do some fishing with my brother-in-law there, hang out at the beach, eat some really good food. If you haven't ever been to Gulf Shores, Alabama, you should check it out. It's a really neat place to be. But today, this evening, we are not talking about baseball in terms of Major League Baseball. It is Women's History Month, and I am so glad I was able to get these folks who are with me tonight, who have been really a huge piece of what is happening with women's baseball as we speak. So celebrating Women's History Month, talking about women in baseball. I talked to, we know the newly appointed, if you will. I don't know if she's appointed or elected. He was the only one that really should have been the commissioner, elected, appointed, whoever, Justine Siegel. I talked to Justine many years ago, and I don't know if it was before Baseball for All or just when it started. And it wasn't long ago. This was when I was back in Pennsylvania, probably it's been 4.5 years, maybe 6 years ago that I found Justine. And to see what has happened with women's baseball from then until now and what's happening this summer is phenomenal. It's exploded. And I am so glad to have been somewhat part of this in talking to Justine, and then knowing my guests, having met one recently in person, the only one on here that I have actually personally met last summer in Durham. One I have spoken to here online on my show. One person who I don't know if Ryan has been with me on my show, but Ryan's going to talk a little bit about a very huge program. And then we are so excited to welcome somebody who's going to be playing baseball this summer. Let's bring everybody on. Patti Pelton, welcome.
Hello.
To the show.
Hey, thanks for putting the spotlight on Women's Baseball Week.
Hey, you are welcome.
Hi, Perry.
Perry is here.
Hi, Perry.
Hello. Hi, Patty.
Ryan is here.
Ryan.
And here she comes. I'm so happy to talk to her because I've been watching her Instagram and we have a lot to talk about. Sabrina, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Sabrina,
Hi,
I want
Sabrina.
to talk to you in a few minutes. This is not to embarrass you. We have a lot of things in common, okay? Number one, for all of us, the love for baseball. But I see in your Instagram reels, and I love them. Cats, love it. I'm a cat dad, have been all my life. I saw yours. Oh my gosh, cute as can be. Dancing. I was a dance dad for many years. My one daughter was a huge and very good dancer. Working with kids, Sabrina, that's awesome. I did that all my life. That was my career. I worked with. I taught sports skill classes. I ran after school programs, and I directed summer camps. So you and I have a lot in common. In addition to the fact that you are from a town. This is one of the reasons why I had you come on, and I'm glad you were able to. I'm from Livingston, and you're from Morristown.
Yes, neighbors.
Absolutely. So that's really cool. We're going to get into that in a minute. But listen, thank you all for coming on. I am honored, absolutely honored to have this group with us. Ryan, how are you?
Doing great. And
Good.
to answer your question earlier, yeah, I was on the burn with Mitch years ago,
Yes.
but it's been a while since we've caught up.
It's been a while, yes. So I'm so glad to connect. Patti and I met in Durham this summer, had no idea. And then I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, I've got to get, would you? And Patti, you were so nice. I mean, it was, would you come on my podcast? Absolutely. Terrific. So happy, so personable, so agreeable to do this. I appreciate it. Perry, tell me what's going on with the Perry Lee and the Perry Barber. I want to get it right.
I had to adopt another name. Perry Lee is actually my first and middle name.
Okay.
Because my Facebook account got hijacked and Facebook was no help at all. Over the period of a year, I tried to get it back as many ways as I could think of without success. And so finally, after many angles of attack, I finally figured out that if I changed my last name, I wouldn't have to compete with whoever the hijacker is, and that they finally believed that I am who I say I am instead of that thinking that I'm my own imposter, which was a bit of a twist. Anyway, very strange and frustrating situation for a long time, but that's why I'm Perry Lee now.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
But don't call me Perry Lee, because only
Perry.
people in my family ever call me Perry Lee, and they only call me Perry Lee when they're mad at me.
Well, that's what I was just going to say. Don't call. My name is Mitchell, but my only people that call me Mitchell are my mom, may she rest in peace, who she just passed away in June, and my sisters and my brother. And I let them get away with it because that's what I'm used to. But I go by Mitch all the time.
We cut our siblings a lot of slack. So
Yeah,
anyway,
we do,
Patti,
yeah.
I just would like to say how much your support means to all of us in the baseball community. You and everybody involved with the film have just been so wonderful over the last, 10, 20 years. And having you at events means so much to us, and just wanted to let you know that we're very grateful for your, support and being there. And of course, Sabrina, Jersey girl. I just spoke to Alexia George last weekend. You know Alexia?
Yes, yeah, we grew up playing against each other.
Another Jersey girl. And yeah, so I was really looking forward to this. And of course, Ryan and I are former fellow board members. I stepped aside last year, and he has since stepped up because IWBC is now doing some really fantastic things. And oddly enough, I just saw Kat this afternoon. Ryan, Kat, yes, our esteemed. Is she the president now or the CEO? Kat Williams?
Yeah, CEO.
Yeah. I went to a lecture
CEO.
yesterday given by a woman named Ellen Lindner, who draws graphic novels about baseball. She's written and drawn a whole series. And I went to one of her lectures yesterday, and people were saying, "Oh, your research is so good. Why don't you just write a regular book about women in baseball instead of a comic book?" And Ellen said, "Well, there are a few women that have actually done that. And one of them is Leslie Heafy, and the other is Cat Williams." And I'm just sitting there like laughing at her.
So there
And
you
so
go. Yeah.
I told Kat this afternoon. She got a big kick out of it. So anyway, everybody here is part of the community, and you too, Mitch. I mean, you definitely do your part, because shining a light on what all of us do, behind the scenes out there, where we're visible, means a lot. Means a lot,
And I think I enjoy it because when I grew up, no girls even play Little League. Sabrina, there's no way. I mean, it just didn't happen, right? Back in the 60s. And so, but I want to start with the history and go back to the movie, A League of Their Own. And I want to ask you, Patti, I know when you auditioned, and I saw you on some other podcasts, when you all cast crew even were getting ready to do this, did you know the history of the women playing baseball? Did Penny Marshall have you research and learn about what this was all about?
Well, when we first auditioned, when I heard about it, because I crashed the auditions, I just lied, and you're not supposed to do that in Hollywood. And I said, "Nah, this is my movie. I'm going to be in this." So I lied and said I had an agent, and they said, "Oh, come on out and play," and that kind of thing. But I played since I was 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, there was no avenue for me. Went back to softball, but I learned at 4 and grew in, played t-ball and the whole thing. But when we auditioned, Penny's strict rule was anybody that was auditioning had played. And of course, people also lied, said they had played. But she was very strict about that. And then when I was researching it, there was only one article I could find. It was a Sports Illustrated. And then my mom confessed to me later that she actually saw the women play in Wrigley Field, which never mentioned it the entire time. We had Sophie Curry, who was from Flint, Michigan, where I'm from. And my neighbor's like, "Oh, she broke my finger playing catch with her." And so I'm like, wait a minute, where's all these stories? And how come I never knew about it? Mm-hmm. But Penny was very strict on that we know, that we write bios, that when we yelled things, it was along the lines of what they used to say in the league. Pepper Pear Davis was our, she was on set with us, instructing us and making sure we got it right. But it was very important to Penny that we get it right. So, in answer to your question, yeah, she was very big on the research.
But nobody really actually knew when they went in what you were doing. Is that right?
Well, all I heard was they're going to do a movie about a women's baseball team. And I said, I got to be in this. But we didn't know. Nobody knew about this. None of us. We'd never heard of it.
Did you know when you were working with Pepper Pear that she had written the anthem, the AGPP?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was all very clear to us because Penny put it in the movie. And Penny and Pepper regaled us with stories. And it was very important to us to get it right, too. And Penny later mentioned that to me when I ran into her. She goes, "You women just took it so seriously what you were doing, because we knew we were what we stepped into. And then once we realized that we just felt very blessed and lucky to have been part of this. And then we were immersed in it. But we had no idea it was going to be a hit. We didn't think it was good. We didn't know. We were shocked.
Not just a hit,
because women's movies were not making money. And Penny took I want to emphasize how big of a gamble this was for Penny Marshall, being a woman director who actually took this on, and could have ruined her career, because once you blow it, they don't give money to women anymore. Mm-hmm. And it became, we were like halfway through it, we're like, we have legs, they call it when a movie takes off. And she said, we have legs. And we're still amazed when people come up to us. We're still shocked about how much it's affected people. I mean, what a movie to be in if you're going to be in one.
34 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was like 16 when I had to. No, I'm kidding.
Me too.
I'm going to let that one go. I was going to say my age, but I'm letting that one go. Yeah, so that was the most intriguing thing for me as I was thinking about you and the women who were in the movie. Did you know any history? Was it known? Was it well known? Were you made to get some read if there are any books? And there probably weren't that many. And I told and I told Bob Kendrick when I first had him on my podcast about the Negro Leagues, I said, "How come I didn't know about this, Bob, when I was growing up?" He goes, "Nobody put it out there. Nobody thought."
No, the women didn't speak about it. Who? If the women weren't talking to their own families and other people about it, and they were either getting blown off by the conversation, or the families were like, "What are you talking about?" Then of course there's not going to be anything else that's out there. It's just. I mean, I think women just did their bit, like they did during World War II, flying, and then all of a sudden, all these stories started coming out about all these women who, well, I flew, in World War II, or I did this in World War II. I mean, and there's going to be millions. These stories are going to keep coming out because of this film.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just like the ignition, and there it goes, right? It's just going to continue to fly out there. Any specific scenes that stood out for you?
My favorite scene in the movie is when Gina, the ball goes out into the field, and the woman who was standing there was African American descent, or American, picks up the ball and throws it back. To me, that is the most moving piece in the film for me. It's all done without any dialogue from her,
right?
Except the determination and throwing the ball back to Gina, and Gina just kind of going like this. To me, that's the most important. I think that, and when Rosie tears up the picture and throws it out the bus and said, "There's a lot of us," I mean, there's a lot of extra stories that are there that Penny couldn't tell in the 2 hours. But
right,
there's so many scenes. I mean, when the women at the end, I always cry when all the women come out and play.
I do too.
I don't know a man that doesn't cry at that scene.
I mean, that when you go into the Hall of Fame,
right,
and you see the people there, and I'm getting the chills just talking about it, knowing the history now, right, and what in fact was started, and the individual pieces of mom is no longer around. I forget who that was, and that got me. I mean, that really got me. And then at the end, I don't know if I cried, but it was just so cool because first time I saw it, you didn't know what was coming. And at the end of the movie, you see the women, you're going, "Oh crap, I'm guessing these are the women who were in their league." Oh my God. That was a, oh my gosh moment.
I think Penny hit every, she tried to fit in as much as she could. Now to tell you, they filmed so much that they had to build an extra room to put the footage.
Oh, is that right?
There's so many stories and so much, and we were ad-libbing and improvising the whole movie. There were cows being born in the middle, calves being born in the middle of the scene. That whole scene where John Love is like, "Shut up!"
That was there. That I know.
He wanted to say it. Penny goes, "Just say it." And so we were improvising through the whole thing. So Penny, there's so many scenes that were written. Oh my gosh, the great screenwriters, that wrote it, and then the, not to take away from them, and then the scenes where Penny thought there was some gold in it and letting us just do it. So, and then they had to edit that down and hit all the right notes, which I think she did.
Yeah. So. I have to ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Hanks going to the bathroom in the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Were you there for that?
Yeah, I'm standing right there. I'm trying to get Ann Cusack down off the locker because she's staring at him.
I mean,
that was an all-day scene.
Was it
all day?
I remember it. Yeah, because they had to get the angles of everybody. They had Madonna timing them, and us standing there like, "What's happening?" And tearing up the I mean, that was all day. Because they had to keep going.
Was there somebody with the specific job of pouring water into the toilet to make it sound like?
I don't even remember who. No, I think they added that later. That was just, and then Tom, he's brilliant. I mean, what are you going to do? That guy's brilliant. It's just, you just went with the flow. I mean,
Ryan is laughing as is Sabrina. I'm going to interrupt for just a second,
Sure.
Patti.
Sure.
Sabrina, I'm assuming you've seen the movie.
Yes.
Okay. What was your first reaction? You remember when you saw it?
All right. I'm going to be honest. I didn't even realize the movie existed until probably high school. And then I didn't see it fully through until WPBL tryouts on the plane.
Oh, really?
Yes. And like I had lived it, so I wasn't in a rush to see the movie, if that makes sense. I was just like not in a rush to get to it. But then I was on the plane for WPBL tryouts and I was like, I saw it on the selection and I was like, okay, this is the perfect time. Like let's
Nice.
Go with the whole experience. It was really funny and I wish I had seen it sooner, honestly. It's a really great movie.
It's my favorite. Listen, I will tell you, it is my favorite baseball movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I watched Bull Durham and I watched I can't even think now.
Field of Dreams.
Bull Durham and Field of Dreams. I mean,
Sandlot is my favorite.
Really? See,
There's a big Sandlot following too.
Mm-hmm.
A League of Their Own and the Sandlot group.
Yeah.
It was just great. Ryan.
Yes, sir.
You've been involved with this for a long time, right? Women's baseball.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how you engage involvement. I too was in high school when I first saw League of Their Own, but that's when it came out. It came out actually on my 14th birthday, and this was a big deal for us. I grew up in Western Kentucky, and so everything was filmed nearby in Southern Indiana, most of it anyway. And my dad and my brother are even extras in the World Series scenes. And
really?
Yeah, this is a big deal, and it's really cool. And so from there, there was like this. I mean, I was that kid that was kind of history and World War II obsessed, and then a baseball fan. So it's the perfect marriage of all that, and became an associate member, like a lot of us, for the Players Association for the All-American League, and then eventually found my way to an IWBC event in 2016 where I met Perry and
at the Ruth Hartman tournament.
Yeah, they snatched me up there to start working on some more projects. So it's been a constant progression over 30 plus years of just getting involved in what can we do to create more opportunities and honor the pioneers of the past. And very excited for, Sabrina and everybody else who's going to be playing this summer.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. It really is going to be cool. Go back. I'm going to go to Perry. We haven't hit with Perry yet. Perry, women, as in, you've been umpiring for a long time, right?
46 years.
Yes.
Thanks for your service.
My service, my sacrifice, my last sacrifice, all in pursuit of never getting a real job.
And you're smiling and you're happy, which is a great thing. And you also, though, Perry, in your field as an umpire, pioneerish. I finally got Jen in there last year, and we've talked before about, what's up now? How many women are now, do you know, umpiring in the minor leagues? Because listen, we watch the NFL, we watch NBA, right? And we watch, I don't know if there's any women officials in hockey, but at least in the NFL, I don't know how many there are in
hockey. Not at the major league hockey level yet. But
how many women are umping right now in the minor leagues?
In 2026, I'm not sure yet what that number will be. Last year, it was 9 total in all of professional baseball at all levels, including AAA, which was where Jen was before she got promoted, and where she went back to right after she got promoted. She is. Well, it's not unfortunate. It's just the pattern. It's the regular way. If they had accelerated her signing as a full-time umpire, that would have been a bit odd, frankly. So I'm glad she's not getting any special treatment. She's getting the exact same treatment that every other umpire has gotten since the beginning of time, which, I may disagree with that. Yeah, she's already been in professional baseball for 10 years. And that is a little longer than the regular. Most umpires spend 7, 8, 9 years. And if they don't get promoted by then, they're shipped out. They're given their pink slips. Jen, I think uh, there's still the mindset that women have to be simmered and stewed and just pickled just right until by the time we actually are ready, according to the people that are in positions to give us jobs and promotions, by then we're already leathery and chewy and past our time. So that's been the pattern so far, but thankfully that is all changing. And a lot of it has to do with just women coming to understand organically, really without any prompting from me or anybody else, that baseball was at a precipice or a cusp where they were now actually wanting to promote women. They realized the value of getting more women into professional umpiring. And they've been pretty good the last 10 years about helping to make that happen, which is a tectonic shift in the attitude when I started in 1981, where everything was a struggle. So
would Jen be the first one called up this year? And is there anybody else that might be called up that we should know about?
Honestly, I don't think there are any other women on what's called the vacation list, which is, I think, 17 to 20 AAA umpires that are ready to go to get called up when any of the major league umpires either becomes injured or ill or takes their 6-week union mandated vacation, which is very nice. So Jen is back on that list. But I don't think there are any other women yet, although there are a couple of them that are in AA. So within the next couple of years, we may see others right behind her.
What about what kind of faces is Sabrina going to see in August?
Honestly, I stepped back a little bit from getting involved with the league because when I first heard about it, I'm 72 years old. I've been umpiring for 46 years. I wasn't looking for a job. And to me, becoming involved with a league like that, it would become a full-time thing with me. I mean, I would become obsessed, so passionate about it that I would devote every waking, like Ryan does. I mean, we go overboard with our passion for baseball. And at this point in my life, I didn't want to do that. And I know myself well enough to know that if I did, that's what it would turn out to be. So I have just sort of left it alone. And I'm very thankful that Justine has not pushed me to become involved because she's been just absolutely wonderful as long as I've known her since 2012. And every clinic, every tournament she's ever assembled, put together, sponsored, she has always included umpiring as a component of their tournaments. Sabrina, probably, have you played in some of Justine's events, Sabrina?
Yeah.
And did you do any of the umpiring clinics? Because she would always offer them. She'd bring in major league umpires to recruit. That's how they wound up recruiting a woman named Emma Charlesworth Sailors, who wound up umpiring in pro ball for almost 6 years. And I was always hoping that she and Jen would get promoted at the same time. But Emma, I don't know, something happened. She went back to regular life. She got a job. But anyway, it happens. So yeah, the future is very promising for women umpires, and that has never happened. So to me, that is the sign that it's for real. It's not just for show anymore. It's for real. There are women that will be right behind Jen who will be able to follow in her. And Jen won't be regarded as an anomaly. She won't be the only one. She'll be just, another umpire. And that's all that we've ever wanted, really. We don't want special attention because we're women. We just want to be umpires.
I'm going to do it.
So, yeah.
Sabrina, in Boston, you had umpires. Were they all men?
In Boston?
Yeah.
For the WPBL?
Spring training? Did you have spring training in there?
Oh, so spring training actually happened in Fort Myers, Florida.
Oh, is it Fort
right.
Myers? Okay,
At the Red Sox facility, right?
Yeah,
right.
yeah, the spring training facility.
Yes.
We had 2 women umpires.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
good. Glad to hear that.
Yes.
Sabrina, what position do you play?
I grew up a catcher, utility. Maine is first base now, still utility.
Mm-hmm.
And Patty, guess what? She's a switch hitter.
Oh,
And
excellent.
Flower.
That's great. What'd you think of those scenes with Megan being the
Sorry?
switch hitter? But Marla Hooch, what'd you think about the switch hitter scene? When Marla
You
Hooch
remember
in
that
the
one?
League of Their Own,
Yeah.
when she was switch hitting.
and the ones where Gina and Tom Hanks are giving the signals and she's stepping back and forth
Yeah.
and back and forth. It's just so funny. It's
Yeah,
just
it's pretty
great. I
great
love
stuff.
that scene too.
Yeah.
Tom, I have to tell you, that to me, that's Tom Hanks' best role ever. I think with the emotion, with the way he came
Mm-hmm.
to become that manager as a guy who loved his alcohol, and then realized the competitiveness, what he had in terms of a team, and they got competitive. Even though there is no crying in baseball, they made it to where they needed to go. So I guess I tell you, I love that movie. Ryan, tell us a little bit. I know what you're doing up there. I know what's happening in Rockford and what's going on. I'm hoping to get somewhere this summer, either to Springfield to watch Sabrina, because I have relatives in Peoria. But it's either driving 14 hours or, God, let's hope something happens with the airlines and prices go down and I can get through not having to be there at 3:00 in the morning for a 9:00 at night flight. But what's happening? This is exciting stuff happening in Rockford. Tell us.
The good news is you can take your pick in Illinois this summer. There's going to be a ton of events going on. Right?
Excuse me.
So that's what I'm most excited about. And that's why I'm excited about this group we have assembled tonight, because what we're going to see the last week of July to start things off in Rockford is truly this like passing of the torch, generations of ball players. They're going to be the All-American reunion is going to be here. It's the first time it's been in Rockford in quite a few years. And so we're going to have some pro ball players from the 40s and 50s joining us. The IWBC was awarded hosting rights for the Women's Baseball World Cup group stage this year. That's going on also in town. If anyone's not familiar, this is the highest level of international competition for women in baseball. So there will be 6 teams here, 6 in another group stage. I don't know where it is yet. Likely because we're in North America, it's probably in Asia somewhere, but I don't think all that's been determined yet. We can't say what teams are going to be here for sure. The Team USA will be here because we're hosting. So something to look forward to. Those games are going on. At the same time, Baseball for All Nationals is returning to Rockford for the first time, and I think it was last year in 2019. So you're going to have Perry probably knows better than I do, but I think they're up to about 1,000 girls that participate in Baseball for All Nationals.
That's great.
It breaks records every year.
It's
Right next
crazy.
door to our 6 international teams competing for the World Cup, and then having the All-Americans there at the same time. It's going to be huge. And then 3 days after the World Cup, all of that wraps up. WPBL is going to start in Springfield, just about 3 hours away from here. So if you can get here, Mitch, people, you have places to stay, and you've got, a good month's worth of baseball to check out at every level imaginable. It's going to be a pretty exciting time in Illinois.
I'm telling you, I want to come. Okay. I definitely want to get there. I mean, I got to find out what my wife wants to do. That's the big thing. Her birthday is on the 25th. We usually go out to Peoria for her birthday. We're not doing that this year. We're doing something else. So we are going to come to my brother's lake house in Peoria sometime this summer. Now, she also said it might be August. At that point, I'm heading to Springfield. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. I'm going to be there to see Sabrina, and I'm going to bring my
You'll
glove.
be there.
Sabrina,
You'll be there.
Promise me, we got to have a catch before you get out to warm-ups. That's all.
Yeah.
If you can't, that's fine. I get you. Be busy. But that's what's exciting me right now. I know that I will probably be able to get. Listen, would I love to get out there the end of July for that, to see the other reunion? Hold on 1 second, Patti. You know about this because you signed this baby right here.
I did. What is it?
It's baseball in Durham.
Oh.
Okay, I got Jeannie.
Excellent.
I got
Who else do you have
Charlie.
in there?
That to me was.
You got Gina in there, you said?
Well, I have I got Gloria. Mary,
Oh, excellent. Oh, right.
Mary,
The
right?
ladies. Oh my gosh.
Janine.
Don't you love hanging out with them?
Charlie. I'm telling you, I had
That's the best time I ever have, is hanging out with those women.
such a great time. Jeannie was a
Can't beat
riot.
that.
She was so fun.
Yeah.
I actually said to her, I should have got my glove. I could have had a catch. She would have done it.
Yeah.
She would have done it.
Yep.
So again, it's just so cool, and it's still hard as a male growing up in the 60s to have to be able to think that, yes, girls can play baseball, right? It's not softball, it's baseball. It's so hard for my head to spin that it's right, because you grow up all your life, and I'm 70, so I'm close to Perry, that this is the way it was. But then to learn the history through the movie, Patti, and then to see it come full circle with Sabrina, and I'm this
It's amazing.
group here
Yeah.
is just fascinating to me. And Sabrina, do you know? Have you grabbed and have all the young women like yourself, grabbed the importance of what's going on here? I'm sure you have.
I think so, and it's a lot of us grew up playing either only with boys and then found baseball for all. So a lot of us had been in the women's baseball community for a minute. So to a lot of us, this is just like another regular day. Like, we're just happy and very grateful to have the opportunity to be on the field.
And oh my God, you do not know how happy it makes me to hear you say that it's just another day, because for so long it would have been, not just another day. It would have been a very unusual and rare occurrence. But now it's just a normal part of the baseball landscape. Oh, I'm getting a little verklempt.
Are you know verklempt? She knows verklempt.
Hey, I'm a sixer. What do you want?
I'm really happy for you, Sabrina, because I was, when I was little, that was all I wanted to do, and I chose my next great love, which was acting. But I'm really happy for all of you, and that you get to do it. And I'm glad. Just can't believe we're seeing it, let alone in some of the women's lifetime, but our lifetime as well. I really didn't expect that, but I'm very excited for you guys, and just have a good time. And
I thought I was going to be 90 by the time this happened. I was here to like sit and watch, or like just hand out popcorn at games or something.
No, you're
you're in the big show now.
You are
that's awesome.
Playing. Sabrina, a little bit. Who'd you look up to growing up in terms of baseball? Who are your heroes?
Funny enough, my freshman year of high school, I tried out for my boys team, and I made it through 2 rounds of cuts. The last day, they told me logistically it wasn't going to work out, but I was good enough to play.
What does that mean?
It means they didn't have bathrooms for you, right? Yeah. that you were
I would
going
wear
to
my uniform to school if I needed
You
to.
would-
I will change up.
no, that was, you would just be too much of a bother. That
That
was
would be
all.
too much because women
Yeah.
take too long to get ready.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But so that year, that was a really hard time for me. I think definitely like lowest point in my career. Like I considered quitting. It wasn't worth the fight. I was over it. Like I'm 13. I'm a 13-year-old girl. Why am I fighting with grown men over something that I'm not hurting anybody? Like, why is this such a problem? But that year was, I think, the summer that Monet Davis had her summer in the Little League World Series. So she was definitely someone who I looked up to because I was the only girl playing in my town. I thought I was the only girl playing in the world until I saw Monet. And then luckily I was introduced to Baseball for All later that summer too. So I realized that there was, I think at that point, there was probably like closer to like 200-300 girls going to nationals when I discovered Baseball for All. So it's just really, it was kind of the perfect point of my life. So I looked up to my teammates, you know, Monet Davis, like I said, because it was nice to see somebody else doing it. And that's why it's really important for me to like be that representation that I never had growing up for the younger girls playing now, so that they can see that there's baseball beyond, you know, maybe if you don't make your high school team or if you are forced to switch to softball.
Yeah, and that's something yes, softball, girls play softball. That I've run into so many, not so many because I have to really push myself to get out there down here in Wilmington. I can't get people to call me back to figure out a way to get a girls baseball team here in this area. There is a league that there's a group, the Pleasure Island Little League Association, I guess, and they supposedly have some girls baseball, but you know, I've called the Parks and Recreation departments. I probably have to go into the Wilmington Parks and Recreation Department personally, get an appointment with somebody and say, hey, listen, what are your thoughts? It's kind of, I don't know if I'm going to run into, well, we don't have enough. So I'm all of you here, I'm trying to get something done where I can get it known and tell people, look at what's going on in Rockford. Look at women like Sabrina and Monet Davis and these other girls who are going to be playing baseball in the world's professional baseball league. Then now is a place for them to go. So know from you guys all that I am trying to get something done here. I know.
Let us know how we can help.
I will. You know what? I talked to Sandy Kimbrell and Anna Kimbrell in Durham. And I have their contacts, and I just have to make the inroads. I talked to a guy, he never called me back, which means, you know what? I'm either going to find him and bust his office door down because, you know, he's a volunteer, or give up and go somewhere else and find that person. But the point was, Annie was going to come down and go with me to a meeting where she can say, hey, this is what's happened last year in Durham. Guess what's happening this year in Rockford, Illinois, and in Springfield.
Anna Kimbrell is not only one of the best catchers I've ever worked behind, but she organizes groups to go to Uganda. Is it, Ryan? She takes groups to Uganda.
Oh, that's amazing.
To train
I've seen that.
girls. Yeah, she's
That's
absolutely
pretty awesome.
amazing. Yeah, she and her
That's
whole
awesome.
family are just great people.
So I totally believe in all this.
Mitch, crash the audition. Crash it.
Yeah,
Took me 2 years to get in the League of Their Own. You can do this.
Patty, I might have to do it. I mean, you're right. What else? I mean, besides going fishing, what else am I doing? Right? Get down to the Parks and Recreation Department, bang on a door, and say, "Can I talk to the recreation director about something like this?" You know. So yeah, I'm gonna have to absolutely do that.
Just drop a few names, Mitch. To say, hey, I'm friends with Patti Pelton and Maybelle Blair and Sabrina Robinson
and Perry and Ryan and
they won't know. The problem is they don't know. They're not worldly. That's the problem. They're stuck in their bubble down here in terms of what they're doing, I believe, and they're very resistant to change.
Yes, yeah.
And that's the piece.
All about that.
Right? Exactly. Ryan, I didn't get to ask you what is going to be your exact role up in Rockford or now preparing for July.
Right. So this is all new as you can imagine. And this goes to your point of what you're just talking about. I don't think any of us have ever been voluntarily patient with our involvement in baseball. Sometimes it's just what you have to do. At that first IWBC event in 2016, when I met Perry, Monet Davis was there, fresh off of her, Little League World Series thing. And what I remember the most from that was the amount of 13, 14-year-old boys who were playing in a tournament at that complex lining up to get her autograph because she was famous, right?
That's awesome.
So all of this to say, with the frustrations you're encountering right now, just see what it looks like after this summer, after people are exposed to this, after the see her, be her moment we're all about to experience. Again, all summer long in Illinois, it's going to be great. As for what I'm doing, again, this is kind of like organizing, a local Olympic event, right? Where it's international teams and just things you've never thought of, because I haven't worked on tournaments like that. I have this history research library background that I was really into. Still doing that. But basically my role is just to kind of know everything that's going on right now, which is no easy feat, but it's really cool. We have great partners here in the Rockford area. Like, everybody is all in on this. And I have to say too, anytime there's a women's baseball event, Rockford will turn out for it. We had the women's national team here a couple years ago play an exhibition game. 1,300 people come out to Bayer Stadium, which, if no one's been to Bayer Stadium in a while, it's going to look a lot different this summer. Put a lot of money into renovations there. We got lights, we got restrooms, we got a level playing field now. It's a great space, and a lot of people will come just to see the field. So it's just more amount of taking advantage of all of that, clicking together at once. Like I said, having generations of ball players in here all at the same time. It's going to be great. And it kind of has to be, because just a month ago, we announced we got the World Cup finals also awarded for Rockford for 2027. So this is how it starts, though. You get these events, you build on these events, then people want to come back. They want to experience that for themselves. And so I think we will see a lot of growth after this summer. And not just growth, but also just this normalizing the idea that, girls play baseball and women are professional baseball players, professional umpires, the whole spectrum of it.
Coaches, the whole.
Can I also say something, Ryan?
Absolutely.
Great work, by the way, what you guys are doing. But I want to take a second just to acknowledge the women who did play in the 40s. They were be there, see there, but there was no social media, and there was no way to expose anybody to what they were doing, and so they disappeared into the the backfield, and they're still here, and they did do it. There just wasn't, and they're gonna be at that event, and I just think that we got to do a league of their own, but these are the stars, these are the people. We're a bunch of actresses that literally got lucky enough to play and to be them in a movie, and they are going to be at that event that Ryan's talking about, and we should all just really just be so grateful that there's still some that are going to be able to attend and really give them as much love as we can.
Absolutely. Patti, when I was in Durham, it's one of some of these things I should have, you think back afterwards, I should have done this, maybe recorded my conversations with some of the women, or had a chance to be able to really talk about the history and kind of deep dive into what it was like. Because, as my mom has passed, and my he actually turns 98 in 3 days, but he's got dementia, and I can't go back. You can't ever go back now and ask him about, his favorite player was Mel Ott, and he loved Willie Mays, right? But did he ever know of the Negro Leagues? And I don't know if maybe he knew of the women's playing baseball. I don't know. So the key, Sabrina, for you, I'm going to give you some advice. Have those conversations about the history. It's to me, I sit here and I think about it, and I go, damn, why didn't I? As a young kid, why didn't I? It just never really occurred to us, and maybe it was just because of the generational thing. My dad and a lot of these folks, my dad's age, they didn't really go and open up because that's not who they were. That's not how they were brought up. They went to work. They came home. It was always exciting. But Dad would come home right on the button at 6 o'clock. Right? He would bring home. He was literally a rocket scientist. So he developed the first rockets and missiles to go into space. But he would tell us a little bit about that. And he wrote, actually, the best thing he ever did was after he retired was he wrote this huge thick manual about the history of the family. And he's got all sorts of history about what he used to do at work. So that's what we have to go on right now. But again, you turn that to baseball and the history of baseball and women in baseball. You know, with these women, and there aren't that many of them around, we have to continue to learn from them and
we stand on their shoulders. I mean,
absolutely,
literally,
absolutely,
and Perry's as well. So
absolutely, yes, and Ryan's too. Ryan, listen, Ryan,
Ryan's doing great.
I'm playing it, but you do so much.
You are.
It's amazing how much you're doing, and I know it'll be successful. I'm sure you've got support out there in Rockford, and if I was there, I would be volunteering as much time as I could to help get this thing off the ground. I worked in recreation, right? So I kind of know what special events on a smaller scale, what has to happen. So it's going to be a huge success. Sabrina, so excited for you. I am so excited for you. Going back real quick, have you told Monet about her influence on you?
We talked about it like briefly, but honestly, I don't like to be too serious on the field, and I just kind of like to enjoy the moment. So we honestly, like, I think we talked about like hot dogs the last time we talked.
That's a conversation for over a beer, and she's too young. So.
999. Sabrina,
she's just
999.
I'm 23. I'm 23.
I know.
Well,
I was one of those hot dogs in the 999. I'm in that video.
I saw that.
I could only do one. They were big. They were huge.
I saw that. Ryan, did you see what they did at all?
Yeah.
That was really funny.
Huge.
Oh my gosh, you guys are having fun, which is the best thing.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's what'll be cool about this new league too. Like, we're obviously great athletes and whatever, but we do bring a whole like light to the game because it has been so serious and all of us fought to get on the field. Like, now that we're here and you're like, okay, play, like, it's unlocking us to be able to play like the players we are and enjoy our time on the field. Because most of us just want to play baseball, and that's where we're happiest.
Right.
I love that. It's sort of the bridge between, Major League Baseball, the serious baseball, and banana ball style baseball, which is great, in its own way. But obviously most of us have seen women playing baseball, but I tell people who haven't, if you haven't, you should, because the experience of being surrounded by, women shrieking with joy and throwing the ball back and forth and just feeling that vibe, that zeitgeist, it's such a different vibe than men's baseball. And it's not because it's any kinder or gentler. It's just as competitive, just as proficient at turning the double play, and in many cases absolutely spectacular, which a lot of people can't even begin to fathom. But the women that are going to be playing in the league, like Sabrina, have been playing since they were 3-4 years old. So by now, when she's 23, she's fantastic. These are not women that just fell off a turnip truck and or showed up for auditions. And God bless you, Patti, for persisting, getting your part. That I admire you so much for doing that. To be subversive, and
We're fighting still in Hollywood, women are, so it doesn't end. It doesn't end.
No,
so.
but just to figure out a way to make
But
it
we have
happen.
fun too. Yeah.
Right, exactly. That's my goal in life, to have
When
fun.
I was in Durham, I have also had Isla Borders on my show.
Isla, yeah.
When it was The Burn with Mitch. And I had been in touch with her, and what a great book. Tough story at the end. But
yeah,
I said hi to her, and I was watching her pitcher warm up. I did one of these. She was bringing it, man. Sabrina.
And she's a lefty.
Oh my gosh!
Even better.
The one girl who was warming up on her team, I was just, oh shoot, she's got to be throwing 85. Sabrina, do you know what you're going to be facing in terms of speeds in this league?
I think based off of spring training, I think Kelsey was probably the fastest one, and she's somewhere in the 80s. I'm not sure off the top of my head her top speed. But at least at spring training, she was the fastest pitcher that I saw.
Okay.
Obviously, just no radar gun. But I grew up playing against Olivia Pichardo, and she was throwing like 80s too. Like it was one of those. She was one of the ones where it's like she's pitching like we don't want to hit against her. So I feel like a lot of us are used to it. So it's like not anything new or faster in terms of us. And a lot of us like faster pitching and can't really hit slow anymore.
What about the break?
Timing would be off.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I actually at spring training I hit against Sato, and she has her. You really have to be on your timing with her because her curveball breaks like it's weird.
Oh wow.
And then the speed change is crazy. So.
Nice.
Honestly, not the fast pitchers you need to watch out for, because women pitchers might not throw super fast, but a lot of them have like tricky pitches. And
the breaking.
They're wily. They're wily.
Speed pitches. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I wish I could still play. If I could, my wife would not let me play because I get hurt too much. It's a pain in the neck. But I loved playing baseball. I absolutely loved it. If I could do it now, I would do it again. I played left field. Yes, I'm the same way. I like faster pitches, but I'll never. And this thing's it's interesting, and I'm sure you have the same thing. And anybody else who's played, Patti, you played. Perry's umped. You've seen different things. Ryan, I'm not sure what you've done in terms of that, but I remember one of my most fun experiences, and I'm sure you've had it, Sabrina. Guy threw me a curveball, and I wasn't expecting it. And I really, of the 10 years I played, this is the one I remember. I got a hit off it. A lot of the guys were throwing fastballs, and you could see the balls coming out of the hand, curving. And I was like, oh my gosh, I actually hit the curveball. How fun was that, right? And I'm sure you get the same feeling, right?
I love curveballs. I had an at-bat at a tournament in November, I think, and the pitcher kept throwing me curveballs, and I just kept fouling it off because I'm like, I don't want – it was two strikes. I think it was it had to be like a 15-pitch at-bat where I just kept fouling off the curve. I'm like, throw me a curveball any day. I love it. But that's when I'm a lefty. I'm a little left side.
Patti, when you were doing the movie, how much was I'm going to go to Rosie and Madonna. Okay, the two real big stars. Were they really into it and knew what was going on too? Were they?
Everybody was really into it.
Okay.
Everybody. Madonna, practiced nonstop. I mean, like she is in showbiz, just as a dancer and everything.
Right.
She'd be there long after we left,
Really?
and still trying to, because she had the tendency to point her toe like a dancer. And so they had to get her to, but everybody played. All of us did. We all played. And even Gina, she came on late because Deborah Winger was cast, and then Deborah left it.
Okay.
And then Gina had to catch up. And
Patti, I've heard
she worked really hard.
I've heard Penny Marshall say that she made Madonna do that scene where she slides into third base. She
slid herself. Yeah.
Yeah, but she made her do it dozens of times or something. Not because she didn't do it right, but she just wanted to.
Well, and you know, we were all, even all of us, even the stars we were committed to whatever was necessary. And that bruise in the movie is actually Renee's bruise. She still has trouble feeling nerve endings in there because it looked like she had a car accident because, you know, we were wearing skirts.
Yeah.
One girl broke her ankle because, you know, we weren't used to the cleats digging in. But this was in trials. One of the girls broke her ankle, and so she wasn't able to. But yeah, everybody participated and did their thing, and even Gina when she goes into the dugout. I mean, there's a mat that catches her. She goes in and catches it.
It's again, you look back and iconic movie, and then what came after, right? The TV show. Where
we did it, believe it or not, we did a TV show after that too.
Right.
Yeah, we did one right after, besides the one that everybody's seeing now. We had another TV show that was Penny directed, and also a lot of people were in that ran. It didn't get picked up, but we did do a TV show after that as well.
But the most recent one that came out was more inclusive, right?
Yes, which is great. I mean, you know, it was just it was a different look at what we weren't able to, like I said, Penny wasn't able to get in the 2 hours, or at that time.
Correct. Right.
When we made the movie, you know, it came out in 91. So the television show was able to explore a lot of different storylines and more of the storylines which was great.
Yeah.
I wish it had gotten the second season, but the
Penny
strike
was
kind of
brilliant in the way that she left the door open for those themes to be explored beyond the scene where Effa Manley, the black woman, picks up the baseball and throws it. That's one of those scenes. And in the series, they really got into that theme of black women pitching in these factories.
Which was so important. So important. And they weren't able to join the league at the time. They were held out. Yeah. So that's why that scene is so important. So I respect Penny kind of sliding as much as she could in that time period, and with what she had to deal with as a woman director. So kudos, you know,
phenomenal, just phenomenal. Listen, I am so honored to have had you all here. I'm so excited for Sabrina. Just continue to have a great time. I mean, if I could join you out there and have a catch up day, I would.
We'll get you a wig.
Can I get in a bat too? I would love to get in that bat. Man, put me out there, baby. I want to swing.
Hey, Sabrina, they're not using ABS in the league, are they? It's just regular umpires, right?
I think so, from what I've heard.
But Sabrina, good luck with that.
Thank you so much.
So honored to have you. Ryan, listen, you are a stalwart. You are a icon in women's baseball for what you've done. You've done so much already. And, you know, what's coming to the future?
Ryan invented Women in Baseball Week. So,
tons of stuff, which is fun. This is our 10th Women in Baseball Week this year. And every year, you know, I work really hard to like spread the word and make sure people are posting about it. And are there going to be events? Coincidentally, it's this same last week in July that all this stuff is having. So like I can, like my work there is done as far as, you know, getting enough quality events for Women in Baseball Week. But no, we're really excited about that. And anybody reach out to me about any of these things, I will point you in the right direction. But for World Cup specific things or what IWBC is doing, iwbc.org, visit it regularly. There's always something new on there.
Great.
And we need the men. We need men also to help support us. We need you guys. So any men that are out there that listen to us, come and support women's baseball, women's sports. We need you.
Absolutely. I mean, listen, I want to get this thing going. I want to coach. I honestly think.
So thank you.
Young girls and women are listen, I'm a girl dad, so I know I have twin daughters, right? If I will tell you, if she were here, she'd be so excited because she is all about the women's movement and all of what's happening. I said, maybe you should come on and I said, "Nah, you would just take over. Forget it. No, you're not coming." But she's a smart kid. She knows where she is, and in her life, and it's great to see her, have a missions besides just working. Right, Perry. Thank you for what you've done and what you continue to do. We'll look forward to keeping in contact with all of you, and seeing what's going on in the world of women umpires.
Thank you,
Patti,
Mitch.
thank you for being so available in Durham. I was so excited to meet you
Thanks.
and hear about you and just engage in the entire experience in Durham this past summer.
Well, I could speak
so
for the
cool.
whole cast also, just so you know that we're all behind you. We discuss this all the time, and we're as a group, we're behind you guys 100%, Sabrina. So, and all of you.
Thank
So,
you so much.
You bet.
Absolutely. Friends, thank you. It's been a blast for me. It really is. I mean, I love doing this podcast stuff, but it's the people. It's all about the people and spreading the word about what's important. And, besides me ranting and raving about the Phillies when they lose a game, like if they lose tomorrow, the season's over, right? No, that's me. Right? Oh, that's but this is the most important stuff. With what Sabrina's going to be doing, what Ryan's doing, what Patti has done, and what Perry continues to do, it's great. It's awesome.
And
So
what
thank
you continue to do too.
Mhm.
Don't be so modest.
Takes a village.
I see great things in your future, Mitch.
Thank you, Perry. I appreciate it. I really do. Sabrina, do you ever get back to Morristown?
I go back and visit. Yeah.
Okay.
I have friends still and stuff
Good.
there.
Good. Ryan, Rockford is warming up, I hope.
It is. We've been in the 60s this week, but I'm sure it'll snow probably 50 more times when it gets here. It's just the way it goes. And then it'll be hot beyond belief this summer, but I'm ready for it.
Yes. And Perry, where are you now?
I am in New York. I have been a snowbird going back and forth between New York and Florida for more than 30 years, but I left my Florida residence last summer, so I'm mostly based in New York now.
Okay.
And
Right,
yeah.
well,
Tonight, the Empire State Building is going to be lit up in blue and orange for Mets opening day.
Oh,
So,
goody. Oh, goody.
They didn't do Yankees.
Blue and orange. Are you sure it's not Detroit Tigers? No, just kidding.
That would be orange and black.
Oh, I forgot to ask Sabrina, who's your favorite team?
Yankees.
Oh,
All right.
Don't tell Boston. I was telling everybody I only support Boston in the WPBL.
right. Okay. And you will do that.
You're allowed our preferences.
And I know, Patti, you're in the LA area.
I'm in Pasadena. Yep.
My daughter. Did I tell you my daughter lived there for a few years?
I can't remember if you did
Remember
or
if
not.
I did. Yeah, she lived there for a few years, and but now she's a mile away from me here in Wilmington. So it's pretty fun. All right, folks, I'll let you go. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Continued success for all of you.
And to you too.
If I get any breaks, I'll let you know in terms of getting this women's baseball started out here.
All right.
Let us know, and I'll see you all on the road somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Great talking.
That sounds great.
So nice
It's
to meet you
bye,
guys.
Perry. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Take care,
Thanks,
guys.
Ryan. Thanks, Patti. And thanks, Perry. Appreciate you all.
All right. See you.
Take care.
Do we leave ourselves?
Hold on one second. I'm going to just sign off from here, and we'll keep you guys on for a minute. That's it for the extravaganza with Mitch. We appreciate you being here. Like I said, don't know if Lou will be back next week, but I will not be for 2 weeks. Heading down to Gulf Shores, Alabama, hopefully to catch my biggest fish ever. We'll see what happens. And we'll see you in 2 weeks. Everybody take care now. Have a great week. Keep your eye on the ball, as Sabrina knows. Everybody knows.
Everlastingly.
That's right. Bye-bye. Okay. Where's hold on a minute. Where's Sabrina? There she is. Hey y'all.
Hello.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, I think we're still streaming. Thank you. For some reason, I think we're still streaming. I hit end stream and it didn't go. End the stream.